Hey guys, Ash here from C4eTech, and in today's video, let's check out how the 12 megapixel camera on the Moto G5 Plus performs. First, let's start with images shot under good lighting conditions. Here, the G5 Plus does well. There's a bit of software sharpening, as you can see on the veins of the leaf here, but it's all good. There's a lot of detail, the color reproduction's good. Now in this shot, for example, thanks to that wide f1.7 aperture, you even get a nice little lens flare. Comparing it to the Moto G4 Plus, while the G5 Plus does have a lower megapixel count, the pixels are larger and the aperture is wider. The colors are also a tad better here. That said, at 100% crop, you can see the G4 Plus having an advantage with the detail levels. But if you aren't gonna be zooming in and cropping a lot, the G5 Plus for all intents and purposes shines. To make up for that lower megapixel count, there's a fair bit of software sharpening here. Again, check out the tire in this pic. The f1.7 aperture also makes for some nice shallow depth of field shots. Here's a comparison with the G4 Plus to give you some perspective. See how the bokeh is more prominent with the G5 Plus? The dynamic range too is excellent here. Now this is the shot captured by the G5 Plus with the HDR mode off. Auto HDR is quite subtle in this situation, but HDR on makes a huge difference. The highlights are preserved while there's so much detail being brought out of the shadows. Just look at the leaves. The dynamic range is more or less similar with both phones. Given the dynamic range on the G4 Plus was excellent, this is actually a compliment to the G5 Plus. Indoors under mixed lighting, the performance is still good. Under low light, here's where the G5 Plus shines. I think this could be the best-in-class camera for this year. In situations like this where there is some light, the detail levels are very good. Even under very low light situations like this one, yeah, there is noise, yes, but the shots are usable. Just look at that clouds. To give you a better understanding, here is an image shot with the G4 Plus and the G5 Plus side by side. At first glance, the results might appear to be similar, but crop in and you can see that the image is cleaner with the G5 Plus. In this case, it's just cleaner processing. The ISO levels are even similar here. In this instance, again, the images look similar, but when you crop, you can actually see a much cleaner image with the G5 Plus. In this case, the ISO levels are much lower on the G5 Plus because of the wider aperture. Now here at first glance, I was tempted to give it to the G4 Plus, but zoom in and I noticed that the image shot with the G4 Plus had much higher noise levels. Again, the same reason, it's a direct result of the higher ISO needed thanks to the narrow aperture. Now moving on to video, the G5 Plus can shoot 4K at 30 FPS, the colors are spot on, the detail is there, good footage, the lack of optical image stabilization does hurt a little bit here, but for the most part, an excellent camera for video. Thanks to the dual autofocus pixels, the Moto G5 Plus is quite fast to focus. That said, here's something weird. The G4 Plus is still faster. With close subjects, yes, laser assist is crazy quick, but even with things further away, the G4 Plus still remains quicker to focus. The 5 megapixel front camera on the G5 Plus does well enough for selfies, lots of detail, natural skin tones, good job. So overall, the Moto G5 Plus seems to have a great camera. While the autofocus might not be as good as on its predecessor, it's still fast enough for most people not to notice unless testing these two phones side by side. Even then, it's not really much of a difference. So anyway guys, what do you think about this camera? Let us know in the comments below. So that's it for this video. If you hated it, go ahead, vote it down. But if you did like it, make sure you let us know by giving it a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. We've got a lot more Moto G5 Plus coverage on the way. If you have already subscribed, do this to make sure you get notified each time a new video goes live on C4eTech. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4eTech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.